Okie dokie. So here we go. We're going to do a face from the front. This works good for self-portraits. It works good for a portrait if you're drawing somebody. This is just some valuable stuff that's really good to know. All right. Now, you're going to start off with a piece of paper. Or if you're doing a painting, you've got a canvas or a wall, or maybe you're shooting a photo. And you know how like sometimes you've seen where people are like, oh, and they go like this. They do that square thing, maybe close an eye and go, oh, okay. They're figuring out how that person is going to fit, how it's going to look on the photo or the canvas. So it's a good idea in your mind to be thinking, wait, how do I want this to look? Okay. Now, as far as with the self-portrait, and most of you did this when you did yours yesterday, you're like, oh, I want it to look a certain way, and you turn the paper or set the paper the way you want it. But the first thing you should always do, any picture, if you're drawing a car or a house or a puppy, look for the biggest shape, right? And then loosely put a shape like it so you can get the sizing. And by that I mean, with a human face or a portrait, if you go like that and you go, okay, I'm going to do a face, it's going to be about that size, which isn't very big and might not be the best thing for a portrait. So me, typically, I'll draw a big circle and go, okay, that's how I want, the size of the face to be about that big. You'll notice I didn't really think too much or get too picky about how I drew it. I just drew a big circle, right? Now, does this look like the person? Is this perfectly exactly how I want? No. If you do it lightly, it's not a big deal because you can always adjust. Oh, actually, it needs to be pointing around the chin. And you'll do that later. But this is a springboard to get you started, okay? Now, here's the important stuff. This is the good stuff. This is the meat and potatoes that's going to make all the difference with your drawing. After you have a nice oval for the head, do a line right in the middle because as you know, our faces are symmetrical. That means that they are the same on both sides. You got an eye on each side, eyebrows, ears, nose, all that stuff. It's the same on both sides. Now the weird thing, not everybody's face is identically the same on both sides. Now me personally, as a little kid, I remember some kid doing like The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. You know how he goes like that? He lifts, yeah, you can do it. He lifts one eyebrow. I was like, oh, really? That's amazing. I practiced raising that eyebrow. What I didn't realize was I never practiced lifting the other one, so I can't really lift the other one. I only can lift and lower these. And as a result, over the years, wow, you can do both. You can almost do both. Over the years, this eyebrow is higher than this eyebrow. Just naturally when my face is relaxed, this eyebrow's a little higher. This eye's open a little bit more than this eye. This one's kind of like my lazy eye, a little smaller. I don't know if there's an app you can use, but in the San Diego Science Museum, they had this camera. You could walk up to it, push a button, it took your face, and then it would like duplicate like your right or duplicate your left. It was weird. You look totally different because your right is actually a little different. Now, the cool thing is, the stuff that I'm going to show you, it really applies to 99% of the people. Now, some people might have a little bit of differences, and so you tweak them on your paper. Now, check this out. Most of the drawings that I saw from yesterday, I just look at them and I check this stuff. Most of them had this wrong. A lot of people, they draw their face, they do the eyes, right? They do a nose, right? And I'll look at it and I'll go, oh, the eyes are too high. The eyes are too high. That's wrong, right? Here's the reality that not a lot of people know. Your eyes are actually in the middle of your head. Okay? Now, if you don't believe me, let me show you because I've done this with most of the classes. Here's a sheet of paper, right? You ever see these artists, they hold a thumb up, and they go like that, they close an eye, and they go like that, or they use a paintbrush? They're using sighting techniques, and I'll explain that. Here's a piece of paper. I'm going to line this top of the paper with my eye, and then with my hand, I'm grabbing right here where my chin is, right? So that's a measurement from my eye to my chin. Now I'm going to slide it up, there where my chin is to my eye. Now this should be right at the top of my head. So I'm proving to you that my eyes really are right in the middle of my head. And like I said, 99% of the people, that's the case. Like right now, I'm looking at each one of you and I'm like, yeah, their eyes are right in the middle of their head. Psychologically, I think what happens is people think, oh, the eyes are really high up. They don't think a lot about the hair, that the hair's a big deal. So most people draw the eyes kind of high. So, after you've drawn your oval and you got your vertical line, find where you think the middle is. Draw a horizontal line. That's going to be the eyes. Okay? Now, guess what? Anytime you have a picture or somebody drew a picture, I hope for the rest of your life, you're like, oh, nice picture. And in your brain, you're like, wait, the eyes aren't in the middle. It's off, right? Because it's going to be off. Now, check this out. Here's some more stuff that's like 99% accurate. It's weird because I didn't know about this stuff till I learned about it. Your eyes. The width of your eyes should be about the same. And here's the kicker. In between your eyes, the space between your eyes, the same as the distance of your eyes. So whatever you drew your eye, the middle should be about the same. So if you drew a big old space, your eyes are the same size, but you got this big old space, you're wrong. Because more than likely, the space between your eyes is the same size as your eyes. And from the outside of the eye to the outside of the head is actually about the same. So that adds up to 5 spaces. So here I'm going to do space of an eye. I keep that space the same because I said the middle between the eyes is the same as the eye. And then there's the other eye. So I've got 5 spaces that are about the same. Now I'm going to draw just a rough eye, right? That should be accurate, okay? They should all be on the same line. I've never met anybody whose eye was like a lot higher or lower. They're always on the same line, all right? Now, more fascinating stuff. Where your eye meets at the beginning, if you go straight down, that's going to be the edge of your nose. And the center of your eye, like when you're looking straight, the pupil, straight down, should be the edge of your mouth. On both sides, that's where your mouth starts. Now the weird thing is, some people may have mouths that are a little smaller, so you'll look at them and you'll go straight down. That's where that thumb and that paintbrush comes in. They'll close an eye and look, they'll go straight down from the eye. Oh, they've got a small mouth. It starts in a little bit in, right? I've never met anybody that had a big mouth that was farther out than the middle of their eye. That'd be bizarre. So let me show you this stuff. Oh, I forgot to mention, between the eyes and the chin, right in the middle, somebody want to tell me what they think that might be?
The nose?
Yep, the bottom of the nose. And between the bottom of the nose and the chin,
The mouth.
yes, the mouth. So on most people, that's just how it works. Some people, they might have a really big chin, so you might have to draw the chin out a little bit longer. But usually it works like that. And using what I just told you, watch. I'm going to draw down, because the outside of the nostril, right there, right? And mouth, I said that went all the way to where the center of the eye is. And you'll be able to erase these lines, right? You're doing them lightly anyway. You'll look at the lips. Some people have fuller lips. Some people have skinny lips. So you decide where you're going to put the lip, right? And how far you're going to extend it up. Look at the top lip. Again, some people have thin, some people have thicker. Some people, this little divot in the middle is really big. Some people, it's not that big. Usually everybody has it. So we'll do that. This will get us going. Now over here, I'm going to blow up the nose. Because you know how the nose from the front is really hard? I'm going to show you the secret to getting a good nose going. When I draw the nose, I'll have the outside of the nostrils, right? Look for that thing in the middle. I don't even know what it's called. This little flesh right between.
Yeah.
I'll draw that. Everybody has it a little different, but you can usually see a little shape. Then you're going to want to get the nostril. Some people's nostrils are at an angle, some people are flat, but you'll get that. Now guess what? Unless you're Beavis and Butthead, nobody has their nostrils completely round. You'd have to lean back so it looks more. Most of them are like little slits, okay? Then you'll lightly take your pencil and you can shape what the tip of the nose is doing and shade what the nose is doing going up. But that's really how to get a good realistic nose from the front. All right? Now, let me add some eyebrows. You're going to want to look at the eyes, go straight up from that corner. Does the eyebrow extend in? If somebody has a unibrow, it's definitely going to do it, right? On the outside, here's an interesting one. You go straight up, a lot of people it comes out farther. Some people it lines up with the same. I'm going to do this like it's a dude. So I'm doing a thick eyebrow. You'll notice it goes longer than the eye and it's coming in more. I'll do the other one. Right? You got some thick eyebrows. I used to have thick eyebrows. Now that I've gotten older, they've really thinned out. So to finish off, here's another interesting one. From the edge of the eye is the top of the ear. So your ears line up with your eyes, the top. Again, if somebody has different, you adjust it different, but the ear is going to be there. I've found a lot of people, the bottom of the ear kind of lines up close to the mouth, right? And then you just try to figure out that shape on the outside. You'll get the ears. The last couple things, 3 things left. The hair. Think about what the hair is doing on the outside. Do you have a hair that's sticking up? Is there a part that kind of creates a little dip or on the side or something like that? So you'll do that with the outside, right, to get our outside hair. Do we see hair sticking out somewhere? And then this line on the inside of the hair, what's that doing? So if we got, whoops, I erased a little bit. If we got hair coming there, we'll do that, okay? And finally, the neck. Some people have slender neck, so they will come in from the jaw and then down. But you're going to think about where it is. Maybe put a collar, maybe do the shoulders. Let me blow up real quick and show you the secret to do real eyes and we'll be done. And I noticed, Trayvon, you did this, which is the way to do eyes. Eyes, as you know, are kind of like an almond, oval. A lot of people, we're going to see that eyelid. When they're looking at you, you see it, so draw it, that shape of the eyelid. But here's the one where people screw up on a lot. Do not worry about drawing this circle, okay? Because honestly, we don't see a circle. Somebody would have to have their eyeball all the way open to see the whole circle. Instead, the thing to focus on, and as you look at people's eyes, don't worry about the circle, worry about the whites. You're going to see triangles. If you really look at people's eyes, on each side they're going to have triangles. You draw those triangles, you'll get the circle. This is what I'm talking about, the triangles. Right here, do you see that triangle? And then on the other side, look for this triangle. It almost looks like a shark fin, right? If you get those right, you're going to get the eye right. Some people with light eyes, you'll see the pupil. A lot of people with dark eyes, you won't. But guess what? Like, Alani's looking at me right now, and don't stop looking at me the way you are. Her head's turned a little bit. Her eye, right now, she's got a big triangle right here, but on this side, there's no triangle. Because the way her head's turned, she's looking at me. And I don't know what it looks like on my eye when you're looking at me. But if my head's turned, you're probably seeing a big triangle on this side and no triangle on that side because my eye's kind of shifted. So if you focus on those triangles, you're going to get an accurate eye, okay? So that's pretty much it in a nutshell, how to draw and what to look for in a properly done face. So now that you know this stuff, when you look at your photos, your self-portraits, you're like, oh, my eyes were a little high, or oh, this was off. You probably got a lot of things right. Like Trayvon, your eyes are so good. It's probably just where they're at maybe that was off a little bit, but it's a really good drawing. So anyway, I hope this stuff helps you, and the video will be up on the channel if you need to use it for anything.